Good morning. It is March 21st, 2021 in sunny South Florida. Just wanted to throw together a quick video. Made one yesterday, but I just wanted to put a second one together today. Just a quick disclaimer. I am definitely not a professional. I've been doing this for years, but it's the way I make my money. But I refuse to be called a professional based on all the professional traders on YouTube. So I'm just a guy that knows a few things about a few things and has made a bunch of money along the way. I don't have a website, don't have a course to sell, and don't expect me to put any affiliate links in my description. If you find my videos interesting, educational, informative, just go to my About page. There's a link on there that says buy me a beer. That'll be perfect. So other than that, I don't need to monetize my YouTube channel. I don't need affiliate links. I don't need all the other things out there to make money. I do it through trading, and it's just the way it is. So with that being said, let's get into a few things real quick. The title of my video is kind of how I feel about most Forex millionaires, professionals, mentors, teachers, whatever you want to call them, especially here on YouTube. And in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And basically what that means is, when you're brand new as a Forex trader and somebody appears on YouTube that puts on a good appearance, talks the good talk, and makes it seem like he's a professional millionaire Forex trader, then he is the one-eyed king, because he is more often than not what you think. Would-be traders come onto YouTube looking to find their fame and fortune and see videos with Lamborghinis and trading desks with like 6 computers and state-of-the-art cameras and microphones, and they get tricked into thinking that these guys actually know how to trade. Now, they're great at marketing. I mean, don't get me wrong. They are fantastic marketers. But as far as traders, well, there's a question about that. So, once again, I'm not saying that all the YouTube traders out there are bad. I'm just saying do your due diligence and make sure that you're thinking about things before you just jump in and lose a bunch of money. Once again, that even includes me. You shouldn't take anything I say for anything. I really don't care. But once again, I'm not selling you anything either. So the other thing is just be super careful about people that are putting their products on sale for whatever price. So if their product is that good, if they can teach you how to become financially independent, and they're undercutting their price, it basically just tells me that their product probably wasn't even worth the price it was to begin with. And all they're looking to do is cash in. A lot of these guys will have like monthly subscriptions, then they'll have like a lifetime membership. Well, the reason they do that is, one, they don't know how long they're going to be around. And two, if they're not good and they don't provide good signals or good experience for the customer, they're not going to be around very long. So they'd rather take all their money up front and not have to worry about the lasting monthly membership, because they got all your money right up front, right in the beginning. So just be very careful when you see things that these guys are putting all their stuff on sale, and if it was really worth it, they wouldn't put it on sale. It's kind of like the hedge fund manager. His name is Jim Simons. He runs Renaissance Technologies, and he's the highest paid hedge fund manager out there that I know of. And in the world of most hedge funds, they typically have done like a 2% management fee and a 20% performance fee for years and years and years. Well, Jim Simons came along and he did a 5% management fee and 44% performance fee. Well, how could you charge double what everybody else was charging and the people were still making more than enough money to be very happy with their returns. But Jim Simons had a great product. He did. And he had substantially better returns than most people year after year. His returns were 66% on average per year for a hedge fund. So even after fees, he's still making 39% per year after fees in a hedge fund. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, like if you have your own personal small account, you may be able to grow that a lot faster than hedge funds. Hedge funds obviously have a lot more stipulations. They've got clients that they've got to protect their money. And as a individual trader, yeah, you can definitely beat their percentages probably in a lot of times. But if you were trading $1 billion, you probably wouldn't be. You'd be probably staying pretty safe. You wouldn't be putting on, the lot sizes that you could if you had $1 billion. Plus, if you have $1 billion, how much money do you really need? Honestly, if you've got all your debt paid off, you have no expenses, all you've got is just like your monthly food, living expenses and stuff like that. Realistically, how much do you really need? And so, yeah, you can definitely have a better percentage per se, I guess, than hedge funds, but that's only because your accounts are smaller. And yeah, it's definitely doable for sure. And the funny thing, I remember one story about Jim Simons was one of his clients, kind of got fed up. He was like, all my friends are paying 2 and 20, and I'm paying 5 and 44. That's just too expensive. I'm just not going to do it anymore. So Jim looks at the guy and he said, no problem. I will give you back your money, and you're no longer welcome at my fund. Which at that point the guy was just like, no, too late. He kicked him out of the fund, and I'm sure he kicked himself many, many, many times over for being a douchebag. So, if somebody's product is quality, then yeah, it's worth it. They shouldn't have to discount their product just in order to take your money. And that's all they're doing. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it for them. They're not doing it to be a nice guy. They're doing it to line their pockets and to put more money in their pockets. Period. End of story. Don't care what they say. So as far as trading goes, trading is pretty simple. It really is. You need a plan, and you need to stick to your plan. And really, that's about it. Sounds really, really stupid simple, but if you have those two things, you are going to be doing very, very well. 99% of my losing trades are when I don't follow my plan. And yeah, I'm human. I fuck up and do stupid things occasionally. And, shit happens. I get over it and have another beer, and life is better. But, once again, nobody's perfect. And I'll be the first one to admit that I am definitely not. And I took a trade this morning, and it was a short on Bitcoin. Everything was saying up, but I'd gotten one minor indication that it was going short. So I put a short on, and it immediately went against me. The trading gods were in my favor. They gave me the opportunity to get out. So I got out. It actually came back down. I got out for like a minus, $3, $5, something really ridiculously small. But I immediately got out because it didn't hit my plans on what I should have traded. And even if it kept falling, then it would have been just a luck trade, not a skill trade. So I would rather wait, take the next one, and actually trade what my system tells me to do. So once again, trading is simple. Just need a plan. Just need to stick to your plan. Sounds really easy, but it's not as easy as you would think. Most people get greedy and they see things that aren't there, especially if they're sitting at their computer for hours and hours and hours on end. Then they start to see things that aren't there. And that's what happens when you spend too much time in front of your computer. So, it happens. It's just one of those things. So, once again, stop looking for a perfect system. There's nothing out there. There's nothing out there perfect. I know you guys see these YouTube videos, never lose systems, 100% winners, and it's just not true. I don't care what they say. It just is not possible. Just isn't. So once you have that in mind and you know that you're not going to have a 100% winning streak, then it makes it a little bit easier to swallow when you do have a losing trade. But once again, when you do have a losing trade, just get out of it quick. Don't expect it to turn around. I remember back in the day, I had this one trade, I think it was USD yen, and I'm like, oh, it always comes back. It always comes back. It always comes back. And like 500 pips later, I'm like, yep, not coming back. But whatever, lesson learned. So once again, just make sure that you are keeping things simple. Don't be greedy, and you can make as much money as you could possibly want. You know, the video I made yesterday, you know, I was talking about you don't need a ton of pips, 50 to 100 pips a week. You can make as much money as you want. So I'm just going to show you. Okay, so these are just like a bunch of different currency pairs. And the ADR is basically the average daily range. TDR is today's range. Technically, the market's not open yet, except for XRP. So technically, all these are not going to move for the next couple hours. But what I kind of wanted to show you was just looking at the daily averages of each of these pairs. The smallest one is the euro pound, which is 52 pips per day. So, I mean, that's moving over 250 pips a week. And you only need to catch 50 to 100. Whether that's 5 10-pip trades, 1 50-pip trade, doesn't matter. And if you're trading the pound yen, which I like, pound dollar, then yeah, it's even more and more easy. And XRP, obviously, it moves 366 pips. So yeah, a little bit wild sometimes, but it is what it is. So anyway, looking at all these daily averages, and these are basically just the time frames and whether they're moving up or down based on a couple different things. So basically, it should be easy enough for, I mean, pound yen, we'll say pound dollar because it's a 1 to 1. So pound dollar, if it moves 100 pips a day and you're trying to get, say, maybe 10 to 20 pips, that's a very small fraction of the movement per day. And if you trade like on an hourly chart, 4-hour chart, then you might be able to catch a nice one trade for the week and make 50 to 200 pips. So once again, you don't need to make 500 to 1,000 pips a week to make any money in trading. Now, you'll see a lot of signal providers say, I mean, that's what they do. They provide signals. So don't even know if they trade all their signals because sometimes it would seem impossible. If you're trading 20 pairs and you get signals on all of them, first of all, you've got to take very small positions on each one of those. And if you're part of a signal service, they enter the trade before they even send it out, most likely. So by the time you get it, it's probably not going to be as rich as it was when they first saw it. So just be careful if you're signed up with a signal service, and that's all I'll say. Just be careful. I'm not going to badmouth anybody because I'm just not that guy. I'm not going to call people out for different things like that. I mean, just know that they're probably taking the trades before they even send them out, if they're taking the trades at all. So, I mean, if they've got 1,000 people and they're paying them $50 a month, they're making $50,000 just providing signals, not trading, just providing signals. So they're making $500,000 a year not trading. So once again, just be careful. They may not have any skin in the game when it comes to actually placing these trades. And once again, it's just common sense. And I know that's not a very popular these days, but just make sure you're doing your due diligence when you're looking into things and before you spend any money. And that's all I'll say on that. So, one of the things that people get held up on, I think, too, is just all the distractions. So, when I first started, then, YouTube had just come out. Didn't really have a ton of videos on it about trading or anything like that. So there wasn't really the distractions that a lot of people face today, especially if they're looking at, Forex on YouTube and they see people flipping accounts. They see 100% win, never lose, turn $70 into $5,000 in 24 hours. And unfortunately, it's hard not to unsee any of that. So one of my recommendations would be to, if you do find somebody that you like that provides actual good information, and by that I mean, is your trading actually improving by watching this person? That's the only definition of why you should be watching any of these guys. Some are very entertaining, some put on a little bit of a show, but are they actually making money? Or are they making excuses about not making money? So just be careful. That's all I got to say. So back in the 80s, I'm going to tell you about a guy. Back in the 80s, there's a guy by the name of Richard Dennis, and he took on a challenge. Him and his partner, he believed that traders are born. They're made, not born. So he basically said, I can take anybody and make them a successful trader. So what he did was they put out an ad in the paper back in the day, and out of 1,000 applications, they picked 12. So they picked these 12 people and taught them how to become consistently profitable professional traders. And the crazy thing is, how long do you think that this process took? Maybe a year, maybe 2 years. I'm sure it took a long time, right? Well, the crazy thing is, he taught them for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, that's it. He provided them with a set of criteria that needed to be met, and they were not to falter from these criteria. And once again, back in the day, back in the 80s, they didn't have the distractions that we have today. We didn't have cell phones. They didn't have all the BS that traders today have. And I think that's really one of the reasons why they were so successful. And once again, some of these traders that they taught are running their own hedge funds with billions and billions of dollars to this day. So once again, I would highly encourage people to really fine-tune what they're looking at so that you're not wasting your time, wasting your money. And the only criteria that you should actually have when you're, shopping around for a mentor or teacher is, are they helping me improve my trading? Period. Now, you can think that they are because they're enjoyable to listen to, but your statement will always tell you the truth. Your statement never lies. So is your statement saying that you're improving, or are you the same, or are you even getting worse? So if that's the case, well, then you really need to take a look at who you're watching, who you're listening to, and what they are teaching you. Okay? So realistically, I think that's probably about it. I just kind of wanted to put something really quick together. I actually had a comment yesterday in my first video I made a few weeks ago. I talked about putting together a copy trading service. And so I just kind of wanted to speak to that just for a quick second because somebody did ask me about it. And yeah, so it's right now in kind of a beta stage, I guess. I've got a couple of friends that I am doing it for, and they have full-time jobs. I don't, so it's easier for me. And they've learned. They definitely have been learning, but some are married, some have kids, some work 2 jobs. And while they're learning, it's just kind of nice for them to have that little extra supplement to help out as well. So just to kind of give you an idea, yesterday, I'm going to put a quick little video at the end of this, and I'll show you the trades I took yesterday on Bitcoin, and that'll kind of show you a little bit about what I'm doing with that. So I'll probably be talking about a little bit about that more because, once again, a couple people reached out to me. So anyway, with that, it's 3:45, and I am out of here. Hope you guys have a great week of trading, and we will talk to you later.